I would begin my talk by offering my humble pranams at Baba's lotus feet. And I hope that whatever I say today is actually Swami talking through me. So, my journey began sometime after I got married. Um, Before marriage, I come from a spiritual family, but yes, I will say this that my parents are not were not Sai devotees, and although see we are from Andhra Pradesh and we knew about Swami. It's not as though my parents didn't know about him, but then both my sisters are doctors and our family is a bit more scientifically bent, and so it was very difficult for my parents to accept Swami as someone divine. So although my father used to read the Bhagavad Gita every day, and my we used to celebrate all the religious festivals, but yes, we were not in the Swami fold. Cut to 1997 when I got married into a very staunch Swami family, and it was a very big shock for me because yes, you know how Swami devotee families work, and I remember that. In the beginning, uh, there used to be a program that used to come on the television. I think it used to come on ETV Telugu, and it used to start at 5:30 a.m. in the morning with Swami's Suprabhatam and Swami's Darshan, and it used to go till 6:30 in the morning. So it was a ritual that we had to get up at 5:30, 5:15, um, you know, uh, freshen ourselves, and then sit for that whole program from 5:30 to 6:30. Now, just imagine this: that I am a newly married girl and I'm not into all of this. And although there is no pressure from my mother-in-law, she has never asked me to do it, but I find that as a dutiful daughter-in-law, I should get up and I should try to participate in this ritual that used to be done every morning. And I used to sit there and I used to look at him and I used to wonder that Swami, I'm feeling so sleepy. I mean, I really used to feel very sleepy because it never used to at that moment it never used to gel with me. It used to be quite difficult for me. But there was no pressure. I want to make it very clear. My in-laws never pressurized me to accept Swami as divine. My mother-in-law always used to tell me, Swami says that I have come to make a better Hindu, a better Hindu, a Muslim, a better Muslim, and a Christian, a better Christian. And she never used to force me to do anything. And yes, of course, I'm sure you all know about my husband, Mr. Jagannath Rao, who's an alumnus of Swami's Institute, and so very calm and cool, and he never used to tell me anything, or never, no force. But then slowly, somewhere or the other, in the evenings, we used to do my mother-in-law used to do bhajans and aarti. I used to come back from my I was doing my PhD at that time. I was a lecturer, so I used to come back and I used to feel so tired. I never used to feel like joining, but still I used to just stand there because I used to get a sort of bliss, and that experience used to make me feel happy. And I think that is what spiritualism is, that is what religion is, that it should give you happiness. So slowly, slowly, yes, I started to enjoy it. I started to feel that divine and that bliss. There used to be Narayan Seva, so we used to make a lot of chapatis, a lot of puris. Then sometimes we used to give pulihara and sometimes kheer. So all of this, slowly started getting into the Sai fold. In 1999, I Swami was visiting Delhi. Of course, in 1998. Jagannath got this job in Delhi, and in 1999, Swami, in April, Swami was visiting Delhi. So I was very thrilled because I thought, I will be able to have a darshan of Swami. But at the same time, I came to know that it's going to be my Viva, PhD Viva. So I couldn't meet Swami, and I was a little upset about it because I thought that,
Usha Rao.
this is not fair. I wanted to be towards Swami, to be with him, and it was not possible. So I was a little upset about it. But anyway, I had to attend my PhD viva. Uh, During the same year, I was pregnant, and in August 1999, I had gone to my maternal house in Nagpur, and Jagannath was in Delhi, and I was there with my parents. One night, suddenly, I got these contractions, and I went into premature labor. So when this happened, so it was I had gone into premature labor, and there was no one around us who could help us, and my parents were really very worried because it was a premature labor, and we didn't know what would happen. And then it was normal delivery, and I was on the table, and I was really writhing with pain, and that is something which I think everyone understands, and it was so very horrible, and I was crying out. I was really crying out, please someone come and help me. I was telling my doctor, "Ki, I don't want this, please do a Caesar, please remove this pain from my body." And then suddenly I looked up, and I saw Swami standing there, and he was showing his hands in the Abhay Hasta, and he was just telling, he was doing like this. That's all, and he just kept on looking at me with his, with those lovely eyes of his, and I just looked at it, and I thought I'm hallucinating. I'm a scientist, I'm a microbiologist. I just couldn't believe what I'm saying. So I thought, no, this is hallucination. This pain is giving me hallucination. So I closed my eyes very tightly, and then again I opened them. And then I saw that he's standing there and he's smiling, and within a few 2 hours, Kiran was born. And that was something which actually showed me that yes, he is right there with me, for me, and wherever I am surrounded by his love and his grace. So that was one of maybe one of the small anecdotes or incidents which pushed me a little bit towards him. And then after that, I started actually seeing him very, very often, and I used to feel that uh, now I am not able to see him as often as at that time. I feel now that he has uh, brought me into his fold. Now no one, I'm um, so very a part of him, or he's so very a part of me now, that he doesn't need to come and push me into his fold. But at that time, I used to see him so many times. Like, for example, I was going for an interview in FICCI, Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce of India, and I had taken an auto, and I was going there. And I was just thinking about, I hope I would get this job because it was a good job, a consultant in biotechnology. So I was thinking about it, and suddenly I see that a car is going in front of me, and I could see a person in an orange robe sitting in the back seat of the car, and he's sitting like this with both his hands stretched over the seat. So he's sitting in the middle, and he's keeping his hands like this. So I looked at it, looked at that, and I thought that ये तो मुझे स्वामी लग रहे हैं. स्वामी कार में कहाँ जा रहे हैं? स्वामी दिल्ली में है तो हमें क्यों नहीं पता लगा? So I was like quite surprised. Then suddenly the car stopped at the signal. The car stopped next to the auto, and when I looked, the person in the car also turned towards me, and I saw Swami. He was sitting in the car. And I said, what is happening to me? I mean, how come I'm hallucinating so much? What is happening to me? Why is this happening so much? And then, of course, when I went for the interview, I cleared the interview, and I got that job. So, these were some small incidents. When I told Jagannath, he said, कि उषा, you're so lucky यार, हम मुझे नहीं नजर आते आजकल स्वामी, पहले तो आते थे बट मुझे नहीं आते अभी, and you're so lucky कि तुमको स्वामी नजर आ रहे हैं आजकल. I said, yeah, his grace is there with all of us. It's just that how or how deep or how we cry, for an urge. That urge should be there. That passion should be there. And if that is there, then you will always see him around you. Then there is another incident where we had gone to Sikkim just for a vacation, and then when we got down at the railway station, when we went to pick up a taxi, we saw a whole fleet of cars. They were parked in the car park, and all of them had Swami's small stickers. All the cars, and that was such a beautiful scene. I mean, even now when I think about it, I feel that, my God, look at the devotion and the number of people in a place like Sikkim, which I would not have thought would have so many devotees, and all of them would have these stickers. So then slowly we started to do this, like wherever we go, on whichever place we go for a vacation, we tried to visit the Sai organization there. We used to go and try to join either the satsang or the bhajan, something, so that we feel connected to that, to those devotees. And that is what Swami has given us, that anywhere you go, you listen to a bhajan, whether it's Scotland, whether it's London, whether it's Australia, whether it's Thailand, anywhere you go and you listen to a snatch of a bhajan, that actually makes you feel that, yes, you are a part of this family, this Sai family, and Swami is always there guiding you. Um, Another incident that I would like to share with you is about, a puja that we do in Andhra Pradesh. We have this Varalakshmi Vratam. That is, we actually offer prayers to Lakshmi Devi. So at that time, my sister-in-law, who's also a part of this program, I think, Krishnaveni, she had arranged for all of us. Swami was conducting that Varalakshmi Vratam, and he had arranged for all of us to be part of that Vratam. So we had all decided that we'll all go, and we can all meet and have a nice time all together. So at that time, Jagannath had gone somewhere out, and I was alone. I had to travel to Puttaparthi with Kiran. Kiran was very young at that time. So that happened sometime in the month of August. So it was raining so heavily in Delhi that the day I had to take the flight, the taxi driver told me that, ma'am, I cannot come to pick you up because I think Delhi is going to drown today, because there's such a lot of water on the roads. So I said, no, you have to come. I have a flight to catch. He said, ma'am, bahut mushkil hai. I'll try, but let me see. So I prayed to Swami. I said, Swami, what is this? I'm trying to come and you are just not letting me come. So I'm leaving everything to you. You have to see to it that I reach Puttaparthi in time, because everything is fixed, right? In Puttaparthi, everything is fixed. The time is fixed. The muhurtam is fixed. So I had to reach before that time. So somehow or the other, I reached Bangalore. From Bangalore, I had to go to Puttaparthi. Again, that was a big struggle. Again, lot of rains. And by the time I reached Puttaparthi, I thought I'm dead. I'm half dead, because it was such a adventurous journey. No taxis, and it was like a very big pain to travel during that period. Anyhow, I reached, and thankfully, I got the first row. And when Swami came in his wheelchair, uh, he I saw that he was looking at me from quite a long distance. And then when he came closer to me, he looked at me and said, Ocheva, you came, huh? So I just looked at him, and then, it was only floods and floods of tears, that yes, I came, and I know that you helped me. That although there were so many obstacles, maybe, it was not destined for me to go there. But Swami pushed away all the obstacles, and he saw to it that yes, I would reach and I would do that Ratham sitting in front of him, which would actually give me the bliss. So that was another of a very uh, very important incident close to my heart. Then Jagannath became the convener of the Dwarka Samiti, and we totally threw ourselves into Samiti activities, whether it was bhajan, whether it was um, a Narayan Seva, or any of the activities. We both started. At least I started full-heartedly, wholeheartedly, being a part of actual Sai organization. And then later on into 2020, when COVID struck, so that is one of the experience that I would like to share. When COVID struck in April, in March 2020, there was this lockdown, and Dwarka Samiti decided that they will start a kitchen seva. And when they thought about this, there was a lot of negative reactions, because at that time COVID was at a very nascent stage and no one knew about it. And so there were not many people who were willing to actually join, and it was a risk, and it was very difficult to, even for me, because even though I'm a microbiologist and I knew about viruses and all, um, I was also very scared. So I was also a little worried whether we should go out, whether we should really be, risk ourselves for this activity. But then somewhere or the other, Swami gave us the strength, and we used to go every day for around 20 days. And we used to pack with the food used to be prepared there at the Dwarka Prashanti Dham Mandir. And the food, once the food was cooked, we used to pack, and approximately we used to distribute something between 5,000 to 6,000 packets per day to the migrants or to anyone who is needy. Now, during that period, there were two, three incidents that really touched my heart. First of all, the fact remains that it is I'm working in the government of India, and at that time there was flexi time, but I used to take I mean go away, come back from office, because my office is in sector 14, Dwarka. So I used to just tell my sir that, sir, I'm going at 4 o'clock because I have some work. So every alternate day we used to go to office. So on the days I used to go to office, I used to tell him, sir, I'm leaving at 4 o'clock, but yes, I will come earlier. So I used to go around 8:39, so that that period of 4 to 6, which I will not be in office, that is compensated. So that is what I had decided, that no, I'm going to do the kitchen seva as much as possible. Now this was continuing for some days, and once when I went and we were just having a chat, I was talking to my sir. So he asked me कि what क्या करते हैं आप, कि क्यों आप रोज चले जाते हो 4 o'clock को जाके आप करते क्या? So I was a little hesitant, because sometimes I feel that people do not understand when I talk about Swami or when I talk about these activities. They say ये पागल है थोड़ी, पता नहीं कहाँ कौन सी दुनिया में रहती है. So I am a little hesitant to share these things, especially with people I know who may not recognize or understand this. So then I said that that day something prompted me to tell about Swami. So I said, sir, I work with, I'm associated with the Sai organization, Sri Satya Sai Seva organization, and we are doing this, started this kitchen service. And what we are trying to do is that we try to distribute food to the needy. So he said that, oh, this is अच्छी अच्छी बात है, लेकिन आप देख लीजिए, थोड़ा केयरफुल रहिए, आप ज्यादा इसमें मत थोड़ा कोविड के बारे में भी सोचिए. So I said, sir, अभी तो और बहुत दिन हो गए, not a problem, it's fine. And so so the kitchen seva was going on. We were doing our seva, And then suddenly one day my sir calls me up and he says कि मैडम आप एक मिनट आ सकते हैं क्या, मुझे आपसे कुछ डिस्कस करना है. So I went to him and he said कि मैं अपने सोसाइटी में आप इसके बारे में बात कर रहा था, तो हमें ये आइडिया बहुत अच्छा लगा, तो आप हमें थोड़ा सा बता सकते हैं क्या कि आप कहाँ डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं, हाउ आर व्हाट इज द मोडस ऑपरेंडी. So I was stunned. I said, of course, sir, why not? I will surely tell you. And then I connected him with Jagannath, because then they could talk about, how to go about it. And then the next day he told me that, Dr. Usha, हम लोग ने डिसाइड किया कि हम 2500 पैकेट्स पैक करा के डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे टू द माइग्रेंट्स एंड टू द नीडी. एंड ही सेड दैट आपने मुझे बताया, उसी के बाद मुझे ये आइडिया आया. So I was actually touched by that, because that is what is I think transformation that Swami wants us to bring about in the society. Maybe he may not believe in Swami, but then I'm sure that he understood that whatever little seva that you're doing it for yourself. Because he told me specifically, he told me, और जब हम लोग ये करते हैं तो इतना आनंद मिलता है, इतनी खुशी मिलती है, वो खुशी according to him he had never experienced it before. So I think that is what Swami wanted us to do, to transform hearts, to transform lives. And I think that was one of a very good experience that I felt, how a very small spark can actually bring about such a big change. And I'm really thankful to our dear Lord, who has given us this beautiful, some small things like Madhav Seva hi Manav Seva hi Madhav Seva hai. Such beautiful quotes of his, which actually stick to us. And if we are able to do even 1% or 2% of what he has told us, I think we would be such better people. Finally, I would just like to say that there are so many different small experiences. Like, for example, when Jagannath had an eye operation, and I saw Vibhuti. I had actually offered some sweets to him, because I was very worried about Jagannath's eye operation. So I had offered some sweets to him, and I left it on the altar, at the altar. And when I came back, I saw that Vibhuti was, sprinkled all over the box and on the sweets. So somewhere or the other, I feel that yes, I am connected to him, because it is very important. I know that he's always connected to every one of us, to everyone, whether they are devotees or not. But it is very important for us to be connected to him. The day we connect with him, the day we feel that, Swami, please don't leave my hand, that day is something which is very important in every devotee's life. And I feel that that is what I want, that he should not leave our hands, and he should always surround us with his grace, so that everyone is in some way or the other, they feel his love, they feel that he's surrounding them. And I think I can conclude my talk with this. Yes, it has made me very emotional. I think that he has changed me in ways in which I would never have thought I had changed. People tell me, ki ma'am, I give a lot of lectures everywhere, and they say that there is this something in you that is different from others. And I really thank Baba, because I know that it is his grace, his love, which maybe gives me that that edge, which I hope will always be there with me. Finally, I thank our beloved Lord for being with me, and thank all of you, because we are all part of this beautiful Sai family, and it is such a fantastic family that we are. Thank you so much, Archana and Divan Auntie, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Sai Ram.